The following program is a real estate and mortgage show and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Reality Radio 101, its advertisers and sponsors, or its listening audience. Listener discretion is advised. Good evening and welcome to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts Randy and Jackie Rodney right here on Reality Radio 101. To get on board right now, send us an email. Our email address is yourhomeyourmoney101@gmail.com. And now, ladies and gentlemen, right to your hosts of Your Home, Your Money, Randy and Jackie Rodney.
Woohoo! Hello, y'all.
Hi. I should have brought some tissues because my allergies are killing me.
Well, go get some tissues. I'll talk to everyone.
You do that.
Yeah.
'Cause I just-
Okay.
Oh.
There you go. Got some stuff for you there, babe.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you very much.
Okay, listen. I want to talk about this really quickly. The internet has been hitting the public with great news with real
Internet.
estate, right? And it's basically, is now the moment for first-time home buyers to get into the housing market. This week has its best fixed mortgage variable rates. The market has done much better in this month than it did last year, and it's it's up 10%, and so this is the best time for buyers. And I just want to say that the only thing I can realize it's fake news. It's true the percentage did go up 10.9% for July. That is true.
Percentage of what? Sorry.
In sales.
Oh, okay.
Number of sales.
Sorry.
More stuff selling.
I was blowing my nose and obviously I went deaf.
All right.
I didn't hear.
So now, they're trying to spread this kind of good news. But guys, you need to tell everybody to tune in to us, because at least with us, what you're going to get is you're going to get more than just a month of sun ray. And then they're trying to hit headlines, and then they're trying to maybe even persuade people to do things that aren't necessarily in their best interest. You're going to get the real goods here, and it's going to be hard to get just about anywhere else. Is what they're saying true? Well, part of it is true. You see, the market is up 10.9%. Over last year. That is a good thing. That is a great sign. But it doesn't mean anything, really, because it's the equivalent of you walking into a casino. And for the last, 3 years, we've been watching the market tank. And it hasn't tanked as hard as it did in the beginning, but it's been tanking ever since. And all of a sudden, we have a good month. And then this is the ray of sunshine? Like, I can understand if, we have a bad month and a good month, and then a bad month, and then 2 good months, and then we're on a 4 good months sprint, then I can understand. But when it's a good month, and that's it, well, guys, I tried to tell you it with as much passion as I possibly could. Don't listen to that stuff. It really is going to mislead you. What is really happening, and like I said, this is totally against anything that I should do. And real estate for sellers, the market is going down. Real estate for buyers, the market is going down. That makes it a better time, right now for watching the market than participating in it. Okay? For both sides. Now, let's take into consideration some other factors. The fact that you can actually go to one of the major banks, I'm not going to promote them right now on the air because there are certain qualifications that you have to have. And if I'm telling everybody they all think they have that qualification, it's just not necessarily true. However, you can get a mortgage for as low as 3.5%. Like, that's just awesome. Now, so that one solo thing could make it very appetizing for a buyer to purchase a home, especially if they've been kind of waiting for something to give a little bit so that they can feel good moving forward. They've got the amount of money that they want to spend per month. It just dropped down 1%, so they're saving themselves several hundreds of dollars if they were to get this product because they qualify for it now. And then they don't have to sit and wait through the roller coaster of the market bottoming out. And they feel very comfortable for the next 5 years or 3 years or whatever, carrying their mortgage and then rolling that over for another 3 or 5 years and possibly even doing it again, because you want to think long term when it comes to a real estate purchase. Now, for that buyer, this is a great time. But that buyer, it doesn't mean all buyers. And sellers, well, I mean, if you are in a position where you must sell in the next year or two, then now is an amazing time to sell because the market is going down. And the sooner you catch it, the more on the top of the hill you'll be. Now, it really depends as a seller, why you're selling. Can you weather the next how many years? 5 years? If you can't, because you're a seller who bought a home in 2020, 2021, and which is a pretty hefty price point, and your interest rate was super low because the Bank of Canada was giving 0.25% to the banks. So it was incredibly low, not 3.5, 0.25%. And so, yeah, those were prosperous times for borrowers, let's call it, because when money is cheaper than inflation, you make money to borrow money. So anyways, now, that seller may not, now that their mortgage is going to be 3.5, or maybe they don't even qualify for that because the house doesn't really have a lot of equity in it because the market has dropped so much. So getting that low mortgage, you may not even qualify on that basis alone. Now you're gotta get a higher interest rate. Your payments have jumped $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, depending on, your situation. And you're just saying, there's no way I can do that, especially when the price of food is stupid. Just a plastic bag at the grocery store can cost you, a couple of them, $100, or maybe even one. And so you're like, wow, I just can't afford to do this anymore, and I've got to feed these mouths. How am I going to do this? You got to sell your house, but to sell your house, it's actually below what you paid for it. Now, if you put 20% down, let's say, because you were in fortunate enough position to be able to do that, and you put You may have 5,000 from it, 50,000, or you may have nothing, and you know that you can't do 3-5 more years of this. So now you're going to have to take the highest interest rate, which is the like 1-year mortgage, to because you don't want to lock in for 5 years at a price that you can't afford. So now you got to pay even more to weather another year. And this is a vicious cycle downwards, and so that's why it's best to unload it as soon as possible. Well, that's one big reason, but the other reason is that prices are going down the hill, and the higher up the hill that you sell it, the more money you get. So that's for sellers. So the market, so when they are talking this stuff about the market, how it's, how it's a good time, or the market's going to see good times now because it had a decent month. Now, a decent month doesn't mean a heck of a lot if the truth of the matter, that month isn't really even that decent. Even though it's 10% better than last year, it's still not even that decent, because let's talk about last month. 5,000 homes sell, 30,000 homes on the market. That means 1 in 5 are selling. That's not a decent month for real estate. You remember before, every month all the homes were selling. So that's not a decent month. We're 1 in 5. We got to get down to 1 in 4, then down to 1 in 3, then down to 1 in 2, then down to 1 in 1 for this kind of article to appear. So all I'm saying is that the truth is that the real estate market is not doing super well, but there's opportunities in there for the people who are set up for those opportunities, prepared to weather long-term the real estate market. Okay, babes, how'd you feel about that? Or were you even listening? Or were you doing something else?
Sorry, I'm on Benadryl, so I'm spaced out because my allergies are so bad. I have to take Benadryl like every 4 hours. So I'm a bit of a space cadet, but I'll read the emails. I'm just being honest. This is where we're honest and real.
And I really do appreciate that, but I hope I didn't do that to all the listeners.
We are probably one of the realest couples. We don't put on nothing. This is
think
us.
all couples are real.
like doing a show.
Yeah, all couples are real.
Like, I don't have no hair makeup artist. Why? I'm just looking at my hair now and I'm like, I got no makeup on, nothing.
There's probably 2 reasons. One is you don't need one. Like, you look so beautiful. And 2
thank you.
Is you're sitting beside me, which automatically makes you amazing. Because there's just my aura.
So, hold on. So, when people give you the compliment, or they say this was okay, but that was a but.
So
that
it
was
wasn't
a compliment with a but after it.
No, there wasn't a but after. What it was is that I tend to have a sarcastic, conceited persona with the
self-centered, conceited.
And conceited, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah. So I can't let go of it now.
I get
I'm
that.
live on air. Because Normie, I'm just a really nice teddy bear.
And I'm just realizing that I haven't even eaten today. Oh my goodness. I'm wondering why my stomach is grumbling. I didn't eat.
Hey Jackie, if they want to see where you guys are, like if they want to watch you in the video, how do they do that?
Randy, how do they do that?
You go to YouTube and punch in Your Team Pros, and then you click on them, which is us, and then there'll be the live show. You click on that, and you're in.
Your home, your mind. And Mike, we're on Facebook, right?
Absolutely, we are on Facebook too.
Under Your Team.
You can see the sexy Jackie, and we can see the king.
Yeah, so then Your Team Pros there as well. So, so you can go to Your Team Pros there as well.
And if you happen to go on YouTube, just hit a subscribe. We're at 395 people, and we've been at that for like 2 years.
No, I think it went down.
Did it?
I don't know.
I'll check.
I don't know.
Saying,
we don't promote anything anyway, so.
Yeah, we don't promote it, but we gotta get serious.
It's funny because.
Come on, you should get serious.
Okay,
I'm not gonna do
hold
it.
on.
You should get serious.
No, we were talking earlier. Remember when you said something to me, and we have a friend that's looking to sell and buy, and they're looking for a particular kind of property. So Randy's like, what about these guys, you know, are you keeping up with everything? Because I'm a space cadet these days because of my allergies. So I said, listen, I took him out and I showed him a home, and I looked at him, I said, I'm going to tell you one thing about me. I'm a really bad salesperson in the sense that I'm not pushy. I won't call you. I won't email you. I won't do nothing like that. I said, if you see something that you like, save it on the app, because we have a system within Treb that we can put people on, and then they see the exact properties that I see. They see them the same time as I see them when they come out. It's a really good program. You just put in the person's details. They can change it however they want. They can look anywhere they want. They can up or decrease the price. They can change the style of the home. And you're getting all the information that I get. The same thing that's on Treb, on the MLS system. You get it the same minute it pops up on the system. So, and I don't like to bug people. I don't want people to feel like I'm pushing them, you know, into looking at something. So I just told them, I'm going to be honest with you. I will not call you and bug you about anything about real estate. If you call me, I'm there. I can, you know, I'll help you with whatever, take you, give you all the info, but I'm just not a salesperson that's going to hound you. And I know that you're seriously looking to buy, and I will look through stuff, and I will send you stuff that I think outside of the system that I think may work for you, but that's it. I'm not going to bother you. That's me. That's me.
Yeah, well, that's you. It's, you know, what's really funny is I was really similar. I built
You're worse than me.
Well, I don't know what you mean by worse. I don't want to get into that because that language I think is discriminatory and non-equal and inclusive. Anyways, kind of kidding. I was trying to be insulted, and it just doesn't work.
You were trying to be insulted?
I was trying to pretend like I was insulted.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Oh my
we
God.
moved to
Okay.
a different topic.
Anyways, I haven't even read any emails. That's what I was supposed to be doing.
Not really.
Okay, so Katie says, to everyone at your home, have a very nice holiday today, which was yesterday. She emailed, thank you, Katie. I guess we had a nice holiday. I didn't even realize it was a holiday sometimes, you know. But Frank says, sorry, hey, oh, my Frank, okay. Hey, looking forward to your show tonight, looking forward to the arguments. What are we going to argue about tonight, babes?
Let's argue about that laugh. You need to stop that.
Jane, hey to all. How's Randy doing? How you doing, babes?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
He's doing good. He's doing a lot better. Thank you so much, Jane, for asking. He's on the mend. He's still little, you know, he's just slowly getting back to work now. So,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
I
brain.
actually enjoyed when he was down, because he wasn't nagging me about everything.
My brain.
Watch this video, do this. And I'm like, by the time I finish everything I got to do at like work-wise, and then I got to go home, or I'm at home and I got to do stuff, it's like, dude, I am checked out.
No, that's not what it is. She's oppositional. Anything that I tell her, she just decides that that's almost impossible for it to be done right now or anytime soon, or for me to ever remember that we had this conversation, unless you keep talking, and then I'm gonna kill you. And that's how she doesn't do it.
Okay, you lost me there.
Okay, so if I ask you to watch a video, then what happens first is you start to get flustered and tell me how you need downtime or whatever, and then you tell me, I don't know, all kinds of stuff, and then you want to beat me up.
What?
Yep, that's it. And then
You know, okay, you know what's
and
funny,
you won't
guys?
even watch them.
Gonna
She
get
won't watch any of them.
I'm going to get a little personal here, more than I usually do. I don't know, I think it was maybe 4 years ago.
Did I just trigger you? or
I
something?
went to the homeopath, naturopath, and it's a son of one of Randy's friends from way, way back. amazing guy. Randy's going to him now as well to get help to get everything regulated. And I guess we told him that I can't remember anything. I can't put sentences together. I'm not making sense. So he hooked me up to this monitor on the computer to see what my cognitive, your brain functions were. What was I at, Randy? Do you remember?
All I was going to say is
Oh,
that,
no, he's going to say something rude.
well, were they low?
15%.
You see?
My brain
And I tell her
was
that all the
working.
time, and I'll
No,
get in trouble.
Because when you tell me that, you still want me to do all this stuff, and I don't have the brain
I
capacity.
never tell you that. What are you talking about?
Listen,
or have I ever told you
what
that?
did you
Your
just
brain
say?
capacity is at 15%.
What did you just say? You said she won't watch the video because I don't.
Yeah,
have the,
you won't watch
Let
the
me
video, but
finish
I don't say
talking.
that you can't or don't
I
have the
don't
ability.
have the brain power. My like menopause and everything is just wiped me out. I can't retain anything.
But you retain everything for everyone else?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
Ask people. I forgot there was a show tonight.
All your customers love you.
Okay, but I put the efforts into them. By the time I give them my all, I got nothing left for you.
See?
Yeah.
This is where I need Anthony Robbins to motivate.
You need Anthony, and I was going to be like, wait a minute, Kelly's asking where Anthony is too. Anthony is extremely
Papa Bear.
busy. He has 3 children that are into all the activities you can imagine. And
And he
yeah.
just bought a new house.
every now and then I'm checking up
You
on
got-
him to make sure he's still breathing. But yeah, we got deserted. It's just Randy and me, sorry.
It's not really a desertion. It's, you know, it's not easy to be on a show with me. That's why I think I need to come off and just produce. Because I'm just too hyper.
Produce?
Yeah, produce.
What are you producing?
I'll produce people to do the show.
Huh?
What?
Were you going to try to take on some new career now?
What do you mean new career? What kind of career is this? It's all
Producing.
volunteer.
Okay, anyways, Jim says means nothing. It's still that damn down payment. So all of this crap regarding a buyer's market and low interest rates, etc., means nothing to 85% of Canadians. And you know what, Jim? I'm going to partly agree with you. You know why? Because it's hard to save 100, 150,000 or whatever.
You don't need that much.
Especially when you're paying rent, you're paying everything else, and everything
you need
is gone up.
$75,000 to buy $1 million home. 75 plus closing costs. That's
So
what you need.
100, but 100.
Okay, 100.
And that's what I said.
But if you buy a $500,000 one, you only need 25,000 plus
Okay,
closing.
you're moving to Oshawa
Yeah.
or further.
That's how
Not
you start.
everybody wants to do that.
You gotta have a start,
But
Jack.
I did realize that there are a few more listings out there under 600,000.
You know,
I'm not saying that they're in amazing areas and they're in amazing condition because they're sitting there, but that's what it is right now.
When our parents came to Toronto, let's say, because mine is a whole different world because it was foster care and all that stuff. But
Well,
for
I'm
normal,
Canadian.
for my friends and kids that grew up normally and their parents had houses, let's say, they had to save 20% down payment, 20%. There was no 5%, 10%, 7.5%, 15%. That didn't exist.
You know what? I'm just going to be the devil's
So,
advocate here.
and their interest rate was double digits. Okay, so I'm just saying that you can say that right now it's really, 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 really hard, but I actually, from all the hardship that I've come from in my life,
Oh my gosh.
I can actually see that today has opportunity in real estate. And I'm not trying to say this to sell, because I just told you guys, this is a bad time. But $25,000, as a matter of fact, when we started, that's what we
Okay,
put
but
down.
Randy, this
So,
is what I
no,
was going to say,
but-
something though. I was going, what?
But all I'm saying, Jack, is that, you know, back then, it was even harder. What, the minimum wage was like $7. So, I mean, now it's 15, so it's more than doubled. And
But
you
so is
still,
the price
it's
of
still,
everything.
I understand, but the down payment is the same amount.
Yes, but Randy.
So, what I'm just
Keep
trying to say
going.
here, Jackie, I understand that there are many ways to look at it in a negative, but and that's easy because we hear it all the time. And we actually buy into a lot of it too. We believe a lot of it. I think it's true. I just talked about it at the beginning of the show. However, when it comes to down payment, Jackie, $25,000 down payment on $500,000, oh, I got to move all the way to Oshawa. So, move to Oshawa, take a GO train, and go and do your work and build yourself up in the next 10 years. Let's pretend the real estate market doesn't even move. You've paid down $200,000 on your house. You can sell it and then buy another one. That's what I'm saying. It's a process.
Yes.
It's, what happened was, and I apologize again, I'm too passionate today. And this is why we know I'm feeling better. And I think it's a wonderful thing. But
Oh, it's wonderful.
it's wonderful. I haven't felt this good in a long time. But what happened is that the whole thing about why it is that we feel the way we feel is because we went through this big bull run in real estate that we've almost never seen before, or if we have, it's, in 1989, 88, 89, we sort of saw it upscale for, I'd have to count the number of months, but it wasn't a long one. It might have been just under, I think it was under a year. I'd have to go, I'll do some research when Jackie goes and reads emails and talks about that. But it was a short run. And then the market flopped for 6 years. For 6 years, the market kept declining, and it actually was declining like 8%, 5%, 3%, 2%. Then I think in 95, quote me, I gotta go and look. In 95, I think it went up 1%, and then down again in 96, and then started to rise again for the next 10 years. And then we went through a little bit of a lull, and then bingo, we're on this big, huge bull run. And because of that, people were talking things like, I'm gonna buy a house and I'm gonna sell it in 2-3 years because I'm gonna make all that money. And there was language like that, and we're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. That is very dangerous thinking. That is not, even though it may have been true for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, 10 years, that may be a true statement. It is not a forever true statement in real estate, and it's surprising that it went that long. Because, runs in real estate usually run between 7 and 9 years. Buyer's market, seller's market, buyer's market, seller's market. It usually does that kind of a run, but we saw only a seller's market for many, 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 many years. And so people, especially all the new buyers, depending on the realtors that they associate with themselves with, have very bad principles, foundational principles around buying real estate. And they don't really understand the principles because they grew up at a time in real estate. They grew up at a time of a false marketplace, and they adapted that as a rule, and it's not. Founding principles in real estate are long-term, not short-term. You're going to buy it and sell it in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. That's not founding principles of real estate. It starts at 10 years and moves on. That's how real estate was always thought of. And then this bull market changed everything. So that's what I want to say. Any emails?
Yeah.
Okay, and let me do my little bit of historical.
Ron says, hey to Jackie. We love you, Jackie, regardless if you have makeup on or not. Thank you, Ron, because I don't really wear makeup.
Yeah, it doesn't go back that far.
Ken says, okay, if Jackie does not have the brain power, she has the sexy power. What did Randy score on the brain test? A 4?
4. What are you talking about? Oh, no, I didn't. That wasn't me. That he actually thinks my brain is amazing, right?
I didn't go with you because it
No,
was too boring.
But as a matter of fact, from his father said that I was one of the best brains he's ever seen. Now,
What?
yeah. Yeah, but that was a long time ago too. My brain isn't that great now. But what it was is, I think what happens is he measures like how your heart and your pulsations from the heart and that
Keep going.
work in your body.
Are you lost for words?
No,
Because
no,
you're
I'm
making
trying
it
to
up?
explain it. This is not an area that I have great knowledge in. So I'm grasping at small memories. So
Small
small memories.
memories.
So he puts this thing on your finger, right?
No, he doesn't, not for your brain.
He
He
puts a
puts it
thing
on
on
your
your
ear.
finger, and then he puts some other places too, but on your finger. That's the one that I'm getting this from, is the way in which your heart beats. The pace at which it beats, the timing at which it beats, and he looks at that as, let's say, part of the movement of the
We're talking
whole
about
body
brain,
and mind.
cognitive function in your
It's
brain.
part of the process.
Okay.
Sweetheart, it is. I'm just telling you, because this part of it, it's part of it. I'm not saying it's it, but it's part of it. And then what I would do is, anytime that I knew that anybody was checking how things flowed in my body, I would always do special calming breathing. So I wouldn't do my normal breathing that I'm like doing now. It would be a calm and relaxed.
When did you do all this?
So I'm just telling the secret behind why it was that he felt the way he felt about mine.
Hold
me
on.
and mine.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There's no way you did all that. Even if there's a DR in front of the name, Buddy gets all nervous.
No, that's needles you're talking about.
No. In general, you don't like to go to the doctor.
No, that's very true. That's very true. But the story I just said is 100% true. So I don't know what you're talking about here. So anyway, and then how do you come up with it's not true? Yeah, exactly. You just make stuff up, man. And then tell the person that they've got they're in a different world. You know what's really interesting? I will take my wife with me to all my doctor's appointments.
Yeah, 'cause you won't
and
go if
I
I
don't
don't
really
go.
like going to them, but all of them. And then I expect that I can get her to tell my story better than me, because you watch, this girl goes off in something that happened 23 years ago, something that happened 14 years ago, something that happened 21 years ago, then added with something that happened 7 years ago, mixed in with the possibility of something that could happen
you
in the
talking
future.
about right
and
now?
that's what she tells the doctor. And I'm going, what the heck did you just, like, I kind of followed what you said, but it makes no sense. You're grasping things all over. This
What
is
are
just
you
totally
saying?
false. What you tell the doctors. And I have to say, then I'll just stop and I'll say, okay, I'll start asking her questions to try to get her to explain in her head what she's talking, like how real what you just told the doctor was. And then you start jumping all over the place again. And then I say, forget it. And I talk to the doctor about it, because you are telling them the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe if the doctor would have listened to me and you would have listened to me, you wouldn't have almost died a month ago.
I didn't die.
Of course you didn't. You're sitting here. Anyways, Tom says, now this is radio, round 3. Yeah, Tom, he's starting to get me worked up right now.
I'm just getting started.
Because this man, yeah.
Here we go. I got the old
hold on.
stats.
Got another
I got the old stats here.
Sue
huh?
says, hey to Randy and Jackie, we love this life show. Sue, I think we could probably write 5 books.
So in 1984,
life.
there were 31,000 transactions.
Okay.
So, hold on. So 1980, 26,000. So another 3,000, and then it dropped in 82, 5,000. And then it went up 5,000 in 83 and 84, up 2,000 in 85, up like 13,000. And so those were good times. Then what we saw is kind of like a leveling out for the next 4 years before the crash in terms of transactions. But in terms of price, it goes from 1980, call it 76,000, 81, 90,000, 1982, 95,000, in 1983, 101,000. So in 1983 is when we broke the average price for a single family home, the $100,000 mark. Okay, then we went to 102 in 84, 109 in 85, and then in 86 it made a huge jump to 136. Okay, so that was
Yeah,
86,
but look at it.
and
That's
then
like
87.
30,000. It went up, right? 30,000. Then it went up 40,000 next year.
Yeah, and then it went up
30-something. Oh, yeah, that's-
and 20,000. So that's
it
when we
didn't.
saw it went up from 100.
229.
Oh yeah, 229, 273,
Yeah.
50,000. Oh, sorry
the
about
heck?
that. You're right. Up 50,000, then down 25.
Right.
So it went from where the big thing. So 86. To 30, 50, 60, 70, 80, yeah,
Oh,
50,000.
scroll.
50,000 in 86.
Yeah.
And in 86, 87, 87, 88, it went up from 189 to 190 to 230, so 40,000, and then 50,000. So we had a 2-3 year, from 86, so 4 years. So it was a pretty decent run, 30,000,
Look at
50,000.
1996 when it dropped.
And then it just declined, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And from 89 was the last good year. Then it dropped 25,000. Then it dropped another
kept going.
from 55 to 35, so 20,000. Then it dropped another 20,000. Then
started to
it
go
dropped
back up in
another
97.
10,000. And then it went up in 94.
But what I was going to
2000,
say,
and then down again,
what I
and then
was
down
going-
again, and then it just continued to go up.
what I
after
was
that.
going to say was when we were young, the little toys and trinkets that we wanted were not as expensive as what they are now.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So,
true.
like,
so it's
raising
taking your
kids-
money. Yeah.
Raising kids is a lot more expensive than what it used to be.
Plus
we
the-
were okay with nothing, okay? We played with
Yeah.
dirt, okay? I remember making mud cakes outside with my friends and chopping them up with a stick. Like that was what we did. Now, so what I was trying to say to you was even though you said, yeah, they had to put 20% down, but they didn't have, like now your kids have a phone.
Yeah. So
And you
here,
almost
so
feel
here's,
like, hold on,
That brings,
and I know that some people are going to say, not kids don't need a phone,
Right.
but with the way life is out there, I wouldn't want my kids going out if they had no way to dial 911 or me or whatever.
it's true,
I'm
too.
sorry, it's
true.
not the same as when
so
we
so
grew
you've
up.
built up insecurities over time, and no longer it's about.
on.
I'm just saying
We
the
didn't build
it's
up
your insecurity.
insecurities. The world became a worse place.
No. What happened, I don't believe that for a minute. What I believe is what happened is that the world became smaller. So now we see everything that goes on very easily. We don't have to wait to hear from it from the radio news. We don't have to wait to hear from it from the TV news. It is in our hands every single day, and everybody's consuming all kinds of stuff. And the knowledge base is just so much vaster and quicker. And so in a 1 hour TV thing, they can only get out so much information. But now on the internet, you
And-
can get all kinds.
Yeah, that's true.
And so
Well, the internet,
so
I
it's-
think, is not necessarily
so
a
it's
great place
different.
sometimes.
And not only that, my love, what the other thing is that our personal habits, and I'm not speaking for everybody who's listening, I'm just speaking for a certain percentage of the population, which is much larger now than it ever has been in history, where we are debaucherists. And so we need to consume things to have good feelings. And so we'll go out and even buy stupid things that by the time you get home, you don't even care about it anymore. It goes on the heap of a pile of stupid things that you purchased.
Yeah.
And then you totally clutter up your life, hurling yourself into a depression because there's no clarity around you. And then you defend that behavior, which is actually making you mentally sick. So, and that is consume. You consume.
I think too, though, Randy,
Just
I want to
saying.
say another thing, though, that we came from a place that we didn't have much, okay?
Right.
We didn't have a lot, neither one of us. We didn't grow up in, like rich families or nothing like that. And me, when my kids were little, I'm guilty. I wanted them to have everything. I wanted them to have what I didn't have or couldn't have. So I may have overdone it when they were small. Well, I know I did, but, so I get what you're saying. We pile heaps and heaps on, but sometimes we have these behaviors because of what we went through ourselves, our environment when we were growing up, and we don't realize that that's where it's stemming from.
Okay.
And you
partially.
And you get a dopamine from watching your kids have these things that you knew you would never have had.
Yeah, I will agree that can easily happen. I think that is something that you need to have in check. Debauchery is not a good thing, and when you overdo it and your kids have to have everything that they want, you actually harm, I believe, that not all kids, but many kids, you're harming them. And,
Yes,
and
but
ruining their highest potential.
I see what you're saying. I get that. But I'm going to beg to differ because I'm going to say when our kids were little, they had all the toys at home, but I didn't go out with them everywhere. We didn't travel because I didn't want to travel with little kids because to me, going on vacation with my family wasn't fun because Randy got to have the fun and I watched the little kids run around houses or whatever that was not suited for little kids. So we didn't do all that. So yeah, I spent a lot of money on them having all the toys at home, but it was because we didn't do the other stuff with them when they were little.
Yeah, so you spent a lot, but I also spent a lot because I wanted them to have the big toys. So I brought the big toys.
So you're actually admitting
No, it's
it.
true, 'cause
Oh my gosh, he admitted it on air that's recorded.
Well, what happened was that's what I was saying from the beginning. When I was speaking from the beginning, I was speaking from my heart. I wasn't speaking clinically. I was saying that this was something that I went through, and how I'm able to now sort of change is I justify the other side of it. I justify the side of it that it actually is harmful.
I don't know.
So,
I think I don't know. I'm not going to say it's harmful because
It
there
can
are
be.
kids.
I'm not gonna
Yes,
say
it
it
can
is.
be.
It can be, yes.
It can be.
Yeah.
Okay. It most definitely can be. But I think you can give your children everything and still teach them.
it depends what everything means. I think right there we have to have a definer. But I do agree with you that everything could just be love in some situations. Everything could be spending time
And for
with the
me,
child in some other situations.
And for me, I spent more money on my kids, like their clothes and everything, but I didn't do it because I wanted them in the best clothes. I did it because I had another little one because we had two girls, that was going to wear that clothes as well.
Yeah, that's true. That's
So
true.
I
So we
bought
wanted
good
stuff
clothes
that lasts.
That it lasts.
Yeah, no, that's
and then
true.
and then all that clothes actually went to my sister. So that clothes was good enough that it went through 3
Yeah.
kids.
Well, the little stuff, but then anybody who trailed behind us would be big, huge winners
Because
when it
we
comes
didn't
to clothes.
rebuy stuff
But not
like
only
that.
that, we also we had our personal tastes that come with it, and because I started my career off in
In clothing.
retail. Fabrics are very important to me. For example, my children today will buy some sweaters, some stuff that's just cool, and I'll look at it and I'll go,
Acrylic.
it's acrylic, isn't it? Because
And they
I
don't
can
care.
see it.
They're wearing it twice. They don't care.
And they look at it and they go, I don't care. And it's like, I'm like, don't you know that that's going to unravel on the hanger? It's going to ball and unravel all on its own. You don't have to wear it for this to happen.
Yes, but
it's
Randy-
just, so
But
and I
Randy,
understand.
we wear plain stuff, you and me. We wear
Yes.
things that you can carry through. Honestly,
yeah.
I can go back and if I lost a little bit of weight, I still got clothes that I probably bought 10 years ago.
That's awesome.
That is still good
Yeah.
condition because it was good quality.
Yes.
But kids want what's in
Yeah, to
fashion
change.
now.
I
And fashion is
respect that.
constantly changing.
Yes.
And they want to wear what everybody else is wearing, and they don't care if
Yes.
it was $10 because they're going to wear it twice and throw
Yes.
it out.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough. Fair
Right?
enough. Yes.
That's the way youth are now.
Yeah.
Or they buy stuff and they rip it up because that's what's cool. I don't know. It's kind of crazy, but hey. Tammy says Randy quit smoking pot. Jackie, what is he on tonight? What are you on tonight, Randy?
I'm just
He's on
hyper.
insulin.
I'm on insulin, that's true. 18 cc's. I dropped down 2 cc's and my sugars are still okay. So,
Yeah.
guys, things
But I
are
have to
looking
tell
good
you,
that
he
way.
keeps leaving the house in his buddy's slippers.
Because it don't
And
matter.
I did that today.
5.3 right now.
I went to my first appointment in my slippers, which let me tell you, my slippers do everything. They're suede, they're not clean because everything is dropped on them when I'm cooking. And I ended up out on the first appointment this morning in slippers. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
So-
that was kind of, that was
Oh, I
crazy.
can't remember the name of this actor, but I heard him.
Adam Sandler?
No, it's
Who
a
goes
big
around.
black guy with one kind of really droopy eye.
Is that Forrest Whitaker?
Probably, yeah. It sounds
Yeah,
like him.
he's a great actor.
Yeah, so big jolly.
Oh,
yeah,
and
yeah.
has a
I think
beard,
he's lost
like,
some weight. I don't think he's jolly anymore.
what's his
Oh,
name,
okay.
Mike?
Forrest Whitaker, I believe.
Forrest
look him up.
Whitaker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's it.
Oh, this guy?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
so,
yeah.
So
He's
he had
64 years old.
diabetes, and he did this talk where he talked about how he didn't even realize that when he was in his diabetic ketosis state, that, it's a long process, by the way, and I've been in it for minimum a year.
Yeah, probably.
I kind of consciously knew when I hit it, which was probably about 2 years ago, but in the last year, I could not get my blood sugars to be a single digit. It was always double digits, often in the 20s, I would say, and I'm just walking around like a zombie. So he was the one that told me that this is how it works when you're
Oh, yeah, you met
a
him personally,
diabetic.
did you?
No, in the interview that he did that I was
Joking.
watching. And then he, when he explained that to me, I was like, oh, shoot, yeah, I remember that happened to me because over 10 years ago when I found out I was a diabetic, I was hidden into a coma, and I think I was at 38, my sugars. But I didn't know I was a diabetic, so I didn't know what was wrong with me, but I was sick
Yeah,
as anything.
because we don't know any
for like
medical
a month.
history.
I was thrown, it was just disgusting, the situation I was in. Anyways, so now I realized that at least a year, I think probably 2 years, I was in this diabetic trance. So I wasn't accomplishing anything, and I was just really destroying myself because everything became so difficult. Little tiny tasks that should be really easy became extremely difficult to complete. And so now that I'm sort of rising out of it, holy smokes, it is incredible to see just how powerful that is, because when you're in it, you don't know. And so you're in it and you're useless to yourself and to others, and you don't know it, and you're justifying everything. It's kind of scary and crazy. So that's why I urge anybody who's diabetic, if you're having real struggles having your numbers proper, get to the hospital, get that part of it working properly, and then try to form some good habits and don't put what I would call poisons into your body. Like, for example, the doctor and the nurse says to me, hey, it's okay, you can have a beer, but you can't have 5, and you can't have 5 for a week. Where I would have more than that. But anyways, you can't have 5 every day for a week or a month or whatever.
And Randy said, yes, I can. I've been doing it.
No, yeah, exactly. But my thing is, no, I'm not having one, because one is I'm a consumer. When I do something, I typically do it all in. I don't half-ass it. And so it's not good, and that's actually poison to my body. If I have one, it's not necessarily poison, but it is. My body, it helps the bad guys, by giving them the food they want. But there's enough good guys to outmaneuver them, and so. I decide I'm not going to have any, and that's basically that. I think we're out of time, huh?
Almost, but
Okay.
I got another email. Jake says, this is a show. Now we just need an entertainment and sports report. Sports report.
Entertainment.
Like Entertainment Tonight, where you talk about the stars and what they're up to.
Oh, what stars?
Bruce Willis apparently.
I say politics.
Bruce Willis
if we're
apparently
gonna
is
do
going
that.
down hard right now.
Oh, that's too bad. He's
Bruce
a
Willis,
hero of
Die
mine.
Hard. Yeah, he's apparently he doesn't really remember his family anymore, and now he's not. I think that he's gone into some assisted living. That's what I was reading about. There's your entertainment, Jake. But anyways, guess what? The Lavender Farm up near Orangeville is for sale. It's 54 acres. It does yoga. It has a barn. It actually came up for sale.
How much?
Ready? It's in Mono, Ontario, and it is listed for $4.45 million.
With all its businesses?
But yeah, it's an active, they have an active business there. They do yoga.
How much money does it make?
I don't know. It doesn't say that in the
Well, that's
article.
important.
It
Because
does
then
high
it'll
tea.
tell me if it's worth
It has yoga. It has a lavender store. You can go. It's a beautiful place. And apparently it's a legal 2-unit home.
Okay.
But it's 54 acres on an end of a treed, whatever. It's beautiful. But you got to win a lotto if you want to go there. That's
you
the
wanna
only
go there?
thing.
No, not if it's a business, sweetheart. That would be wrong. If it's a business,
Randy,
then Jack.
almost $5 million.
Yeah, but
That's
if it's
a
a
lot of
business,
money.
it depends on the.
But you still have to qualify for that, dude.
No, not when it's a business, sweetheart. It's a different kind of qualification. It's not the same as buying a residential property. They're different. Buying apartment buildings, nobody qualifies for that kind of money. But there's a business aspect to it, and the bank wants to know your competency level of maintaining something like that so they can understand their risk. But believe me, people who go and buy a building like that, they don't got an income of $14 million to support their carrying costs. It's the business aspect of it. And then, can you run that business? Do you have experience? Can you prove to us what okay, go ahead.
Oh, another little bit of news. I do believe they broke ground on the new GO station here in Oshawa. Yeah.
Okay, well, and this is another reason to save up your $25,000
But not only
and buy a
that,
house
not
in
only
Oshawa.
that.
Right there, go.
That GO
Zip into
station,
Toronto.
okay, it's not going in the best of areas of Oshawa, but it is going to improve those areas. You
Listen,
know why?
let's-
Because it's going to bring young professionals in to that area because they can walk to the GO, they can do whatever.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Toronto, back in the day, I was in the 80s, okay? In the 80s, well, I was in the 60s, but anyways, in the 80s, there were many parts of Toronto that were considered bad, Riverdale and stuff like that, and they weren't necessarily the best, the film district and things like that. But what happened was, as housing prices changed, which they have changed, most of Oshawa is over 500,000.
Yeah.
You need $500,000 to live there. So it's changing. It's changing. So and as it changes, and that's why it's a great place to do. The proximity to Toronto is incredible. And the infrastructure is becoming better, because if you got a GO station there, that is going to really help with commuting. And so it becomes, typically crime is typically amongst criminals, for the most part. Most of the crime that happens from criminal to criminal, it's not really criminal to person living in house B. It's very rare, actually, that kind of crime. And so criminals tend to keep to themselves, and it's a business, but then you get some,
Well, listen,
some people
you
that
know,
are crazy.
the really bad part of Oshawa, some parts of South Oshawa. But with that being said, you
Not just
drive,
south, north,
you drive
there's
down.
areas.
No, but you drive down to South Oshawa now, and I do, because that's where we have poodles. That's where they get groomed. There's
I
a
like
really great
parts
groomer
of
down
South
there,
Oshawa.
and you see a lot more young couples out with the stroller down in that area. That I would typically say, if you got little kids, you want to be careful where you're going to go down there. But it is changing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not going to change overnight, and you're always going to have some kind of crime everywhere. But I know people that have lived down there their whole lives and go out and come home from a job at 1 a.m. and have never had any issues.
And like it
Right?
down there, like to buy and sell down there. But
So-
because they like the price point. The truth of the matter is, things are changing. One of the things I'd like to urge people, just before we go, I'm
Yeah,
going to
we
do a
have 2 minutes.
tiny little bit of politics. If you want crime to be reduced, like, I'm not talking about the economy. I'm not talking about, having more responsible fiscal policies. I'm not talking about that. But if you want reduced crime, you can't continue down the liberal path. Now, I was a liberal, but come on.
no, he's bringing
But
it in.
I'm just saying, but come on now. They've lost their mind. When you have the police telling you to put the keys at the front of your house, so when people break in, they can take your key and go, so they don't harm you.
'Cause they're looking for your car?
What kind of silliness is this? Honestly, what kind of silly? How do you get there? How do you, as a police sergeant or something, get to that responsibility level and then come out with something that's stupid? Like, what happened to protecting us? Who are you
Yeah, but
protecting?
do you
Are
remember-
you, because I just want, the philosophy
but that's
is
what I was
that you're
gonna talk about.
safer because
Don't you
of
know,
it.
like only a couple weeks ago, some guy
Yeah.
got arrested because he
Beat up a
beat
person who
guy
broke into his house.
Yeah, he beat him up, and he got what is that?
It just,
You can't even protect your family anymore.
this is the liberal way. They've lost their way. Listen, guys, we can't. How do you give criminals the upper hand? What kind? Honestly, isn't this stupid? Like, okay, there was a time when I was anti-establishment, but even if I was still in that day, I wouldn't want people to be able to break into my mom's house, my sister's house, anybody's house, and that person, if the guy comes in with a knife, whatever, and they end up stabbing them, and now they're up on charges for murder.
I know,
Like,
it's
come
crazy.
on. What could this doesn't even make sense.
wrong, it's wrong.
So we need to divorce ourselves from the people who are bringing this on. If it's a police sergeant, let's get rid of them. If it's our politician, let's get rid of them. And let's get back
Hold
to
on.
common
Hold on.
sense
What was that
approach.
thing you were
If they come
watching?
in your house to break in and take stuff or harm you or anything, break into your house and it's unwanted, then you're allowed to kill them. That's it. You know why? Not because that's what we want to do. This is why. Because they have to know that their life is on the line if they're going in to harm people. That's the only reason. No other reason. Right now, there's nothing. You can't do nothing. Unless the person's going to shoot you first. Do you know if the person's going to shoot you first, then they have to pull out their gun and point it at you first, which means that you have to react after he shot you. Like, this is just so stupid. It's insane.
We're out.
Anyways,
Take us
I'm
out.
done with that. Thank you for listening to it. This is your home, your money, and our lives on realityradio101.com. Bye for now.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Your Home, Your Money with your hosts, Randy and Jackie Rodney, right here on Reality Radio 101.